What is up, Triple Option Podcast? Welcome to the first episode of the Top 914 with your hosts, Nick Alves and Zarius Colson. Today, we'll be bringing you guys Knicks coverage and Giants coverage. So, getting into game one, Knicks
108, 105.
108, 105, man. We were down by a margin of 20 or more at
Yeah,
half. Dude, we've seen death to rights, especially at TD Garden, high intensity, playoff environment, especially in Boston. And,
it was a crazy game, yeah.
masterclass, absolute masterclass. Yeah, like we mentioned, we end up winning 108, 105. Brunson had 29 points. Just the captain doing captain things. OG Anunoby popped off that game. Um, all the starters playing over 40 minutes or more. What are we thinking about that, Nick?
It's low-key crazy playing 40 minutes
It
in one
is.
basketball game. It's literally basically the entire game. But also
Considering we went to OT,
both
yeah.
games we've played best in the second half. Like obviously we've been down at half. We haven't
Yep.
been best team in the first half, but you know what? Doesn't matter when you're winning games. Coming back second half by 20 points. But you know what? Like another factor in our win is also how bad the Celtics have been shooting.
Exactly.
Both games they've shot 25% from three,
Yep. 45
and
and six.
I'm pretty sure also like 34 to like 40% just
Yeah.
like from the field. It's low key crazy. Like
Dude, for the reigning champs to be performing on that level, it was surprising to say the least. Like
yeah,
15 of 61, I believe, from three. That's horrendous knowing it's a playoff game. And for a team that's known for its 3-point prowess, that's just something that no one expected. And I feel like for the Knicks to capitalize off of that, I think that shows how much of a defensive emphasis we put on Boston. So game one, thriller. Obviously, ending that game with Mikal Bridges, defensive stop on Jaylen Brown. What a clutch moment there.
yeah,
Moving
it
on
was
to
really
game
clutch.
two. Listen, man,
That
what
was
else
a
can we
crazy
say
game.
except it's just
It
the
was
same thing all over again.
it's just total
Complete,
shutdown defense, and of
complete script
course,
over again.
Mikal Bridges with another defensive stop on Jalen. My bad,
On
on
JT.
Jason Tate. But you know what? I mean, if Mikal Bridges is a fourth quarter guy, I don't mind that. I mean, if we go for the sweep, we go for the sweep.
Yep.
But I
But
think
we'll
I
just
think we come out on top in this series. Like,
I like that claim. Especially with the way we've been playing. But speaking on Mikal, he was cold the entire game. Fourth quarter, he popped out. I think it was 14 points in the fourth quarter,
yeah,
and
it's 14 points.
defensive stop in the last couple seconds. But this Knicks team, man, winning with the margin of 4 points in between both games.
Both games, yeah.
So I think the series isn't over by far. Series is not over.
Definitely not. Even though we are going back to the Garden right now, right? For game 3.
Yeah, we're going back to the Garden for game 3 and 4. It'd be I think it's
It'd be
still be
great to shut it out,
yeah,
but I don't like
it
honestly
end in
with
the
how
Garden.
bad we've been playing in the first half,
Right.
it's not like the easiest thing to do. And
Ex-
obviously sweeping any team isn't easy at all.
Right, especially the reigning champs. So, I mean, the ideal situation for us Knicks fans would be to go for a sweep, but we know the Boston Celtics aren't going out without a fight.
Yeah,
That's
they're
for sure.
definitely not.
But I do want to see more. I want to see more dominance from Cat. In my opinion, he obviously had 17 boards. He had a double double last game, which
Yeah,
was.
he did.
But I think I need to see. I need to see him kind of establish
Step
himself
up.
beside Jalen Brunson as that 1B type of guy. We can rely on to get a bucket. He's been kind of lenient, playing up against Porzingis and Al Horford, guys like that are hard nosed defenders. But I don't know. I think someone has to have a legacy game, and
I think it's gonna be Brunson, honestly.
it has to be the captain.
It
He's
has to
due
be
for
Brunson.
30 or
He
40, 50 point game.
he went 29, right? This game?
Yep.
29 points, game
Yeah,
2. And I mean he's been playing really good.
exactly.
But what's it called? I mean, if he steps up for game 3, drops a little like 40 points. Obviously that'd be great.
Plus
Hopefully
one.
we get a win. And we're up 3-0 in the series. Makes it so much easier, especially that we're at the Garden.
Yeah, but it's a team effort, like they say. We need our bench to show out.
Yeah,
Mitchell Robinson, campaign, all
he's
guys.
actually been great. Yeah,
Yeah, all
I've
guys that
seen.
have been showing out. Honestly, in the series, but we just can't sustain just barely winning
Yeah,
a game.
barely winning, especially because like how good the Celtics are as a team. Like we know anything can happen. Obviously, they've choked two leads in the second half, both games, but like something will definitely change in Boston, and I doubt they like let up any more leads. They have to get tighter on defense. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. We just got to play good basketball.
Yeah, man. Joe Mazzulla is definitely gonna have to switch up some things around. But like I said, the Knicks have the momentum as of now. We weren't expected to get out of the series. That was the majority of people saying,
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people said, "Oh,
easily.
the Celtics easily."
But look what happens. It's the NBA playoffs. Anything is
Anything. I mean, every sport is unpredictable except
exactly.
for football. Except for football.
We'll get into that later. But no, yeah, man, this Knicks team is putting up a fight. As a loyal Knicks fan, it's great to see what we've established as a foundation for a
Yeah,
franchise over the past couple years. Getting to this point, honestly. But I don't know if we manage to get out of this series beating Boston, which would be probably the greatest New York upset of all time.
it really will.
Um, Dude, we can either see Cleveland or Indiana, and it's looking like Indiana with the way Tyrese Halliburton has been playing.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out. I've seen a lot of clips of him playing.
It's been a one man show. Grabbing his own rebound and then hitting the
Yeah,
game winning three in game two to go up 2-0 in Cleveland. Kind of the
I
same
mean,
scenario, Knicks and
yeah,
Celtics.
it's the same thing. But
Tyrese-
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Pacers
Yeah,
at
that would be
all.
good
I
to last.
really would not mind that.
Yeah, I think the Knicks need to get their get back from last year. Obviously losing to the Pacers in the semifinals in seven. But yeah, man, that'd be cinema.
That'd be a really good series. I'd love to watch that.
Yeah. But
I mean, even if we go against Cleveland too, it would
right,
not be
yeah,
a bad
that'd
series at all.
be a hard nose series too. But yeah, man, let's just keep hoping and praying that Knicks continue this wave against the Celtics. We got game 3 on Saturday at the Garden.
Can't
So
wait.
let's do. And make sure you guys stay tuned to the Insta and to the YouTube. We post
Pretty
clips,
often.
reels, shorts, posts um daily for the Knicks. So just stay tuned. So now moving on to the Giants. Hey man, coming off of a strong draft.
Yeah, I
This is
really liked our
a
draft
very
class
strong
this year.
draft. Obviously headlined by Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss and Abdul Carter, our new franchise piece on that
I
defensive.
also really like Darius Alexander, our third round pick. Obviously we need a D tackle too, someone to play with and right next to Dexter Lawrence. Obviously the best D tackle in football. And that's not even biased. Like a lot of people should know that.
He is. So getting more in depth with our draft grades, if you guys hadn't seen that over on the Insta. Um, starting with Abdul Carter. I believe we gave him
We
an A.
gave we gave him an A.
Yeah, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Because, and this is not even New York bias. You had guys like Mel Kippler and other guys that had best player available, best player in the draft, starting from one, and Abdul Carter was the best player in this
I
draft class.
mean, Abdul
He proved that in Penn State with his high octane, high pursuit, rush abilities to get to the quarterback. We mentioned that in our video about potential targets who the Giants could draft before, obviously before the draft. But yeah, man, Abdul Carter, I think that's just an A is a perfect grade for him.
I think so
Um,
too. Obviously, New York pass rush is insane now
it is.
with Kayvon Thibodeau. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, with the
Yep.
addition of Abdul Carter and Darius Alexander, who we also gave an A, our third round draft pick.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you can't really pass up on a talent like that. Obviously, Travis Hunter was on the board. That was kind of shocking to me when the Jaguars traded up for him.
Right.
But, no passing up on Abdul Carter. I think we made the right pick.
Yeah, man. I think the routes that we took, I think they were all great moves. And speaking of a specific route we took, that is the Giants trading up to get Jackson Dart in the late first
Yeah,
round.
I was
Um,
very happy with that pick.
yeah, a lot of Giants fans were very content with that pick. Me personally, I thought we were going to take Shador with that pick, but obviously Jackson Dart was amongst one of the quarterbacks that the Giants had many camp workouts, many visits before the draft, obviously. And yeah, dude, coming out of Ole Miss, we all know Jackson Dart's arm ability. We know his true talent. And I think that I think he has a lot of proof because there's obviously going to be those guys who are like, he's not a first round talent. That was a reach. And if I'm not mistaken, what do we give Jackson Dart again for our grades?
We gave Jackson Dart a B.
We gave him a B. Yeah, I think a B is perfect only because we don't know what his true ceiling is for a guy like that. Obviously, a first year quarterback, you never know what their true ceiling is. So it's like once we find out what it really is, then we'll obviously come back to this and we'll compare it. But I think in hindsight, looking at it now, Jackson Dart will be a great addition to this Giants offense.
I mean, I fully agree with you. I've seen so many uh, scouts, any reports say that Jackson Dart was a full reach, but
Yep,
you know, Eli Manning, he himself said that. Eli Manning loves Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has gotten mentored by him at Ole Miss for
exactly.
the past 2 years he was there. I mean, he's behind Russell Wilson. He's behind Jameis
James.
Winston. And I think he can just grow and develop. Like a lot of people say, Jackson Dart was a reach.
Right.
That what's it called? The Ole Miss offense is just like one read, just throw it deep, throw it short. But I think like Jackson Dart is really capable of a lot of things.
Exactly. And even, we mentioned the veteran prowess he's behind in Jameis and Russ. Even Tommy. I think Tommy is a great bridge quarterback who
Yeah,
young
I mean
quarterbacks
he's
can
just
learn from. Because put into the limelight in that 2022-2023 season, abruptly starting, and look what he did. After Tyrod got hurt, he was placed into that New York limelight, and he delivered when we needed him to deliver. I think
absolutely
people
delivered.
forget about Tommy Cutlets,
I
and
mean, I
he
think I know his stats by heart. 3-1 record,
exactly
1,067
like
passing
you
yards,
want to talk
seven
about fan
touchdowns.
favorite. Tommy Cutlets is a fan favorite amongst New York Giants because
Absolutely. Tommy
he was
Cutlets
put into a
himself.
position where most people would fail, but he proved everyone
He
wrong. And
shined. He shined.
exactly,
Especially, honestly, it was even crazier that to think one of those games he won was a prime time game, Sunday
exactly.
night football against the Green Bay Packers.
Yep,
That was a game. I love
that
that
was
game.
that was a great game. So I think that spontaneousness from a guy who you know wasn't expecting to start that
I mean,
season.
yeah, he was a
Right, young
undrafted free
quarterbacks.
agent.
Young quarterbacks can learn from a guy like that. They 100% can.
I mean, yeah, he
Um,
was an undrafted free agent, third
exactly.
quarterback on the roster. Literally, Brock Purdy 2.0, obviously. Didn't have
Right.
anywhere near Brock Purdy, but obviously in that 4 game stretch, he won 3 games. But, you know,
Yeah. So it's obviously just I think we're gonna have some growing pains along the way because that's what every
that's
team,
always been
every
a
young
thing.
every young team has growing pains.
But
Um,
that's always been a thing with the Giants, too.
right.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, can't control that too much.
But I think the expectation for this year's draft was up here after our draft from last year was up here. So,
Yeah, for sure.
we kind of have to deliver. These guys have to deliver this year because we saw what the Giants front office produced last year in drafting guys like Tyron Tracy, Leak, obviously,
Yeah.
Newbin, Drew Phillips. So it's just that level of talent that we got last year. There's no reason why who we drafted this year can't perform probably even better than the guys last year. So just
Especially
adding. Yeah,
especially Scadaboo and
exactly.
Marcus and Bao. And
Yep.
honestly, great second day two picks, day three. But what's it called? Marcus is just going to be a really good addition to our offensive line, and Scadaboo is just going to be great. Like obviously, you've seen in the league, so many teams have a running back duo, and I think like obviously Tracy's a little older, but Scadaboo is pretty
Exactly.
young, and I mean both of them second year and first year going into the league. I think they can do something. They can make some noise.
Right. And I think we gave Scadaboo a
We gave Scadaboo a B minus only
B
because
minus.
obviously we drafted Tyrone Tracy and we picked
Yeah.
up Singletary
Right, and we still have Motor.
and
Yeah.
and Bao is a B minus. I think we should have put. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, but we should have put him a little higher maybe
Yeah.
because obviously we do need that offensive line. He's one of the best tackles coming out, but a lot of people say we should move him to guard only because of like his skill set.
Right. And yeah, I know I mentioned I said Mel Kipler earlier. I meant to say Mel Kiper Jr. Um I butchered the name there. But yeah, man. This Giants draft class, um, we had a lot to prove. We have the hardest schedule in the league
Yes,
this upcoming
very.
season. So that's gonna be something. Something to look forward to. I just hope that, you know, games in MetLife this year aren't gonna be how
A
games in
little
MetLife
better.
were last year.
A little better.
Yeah. But overall, it's just the improvement, man. The improvement, the gradual improvement of a team. From where we started from with this whole rebuilding
Especially.
process after getting rid of Saquon and after getting rid of Danny Dimes.
Well,
Um,
the first step of this
right,
entire rebuild was putting Danny on a
exactly.
$140 million contract, but
Right.
that didn't pan out at
I
all.
didn't. That didn't pan out anymore. It ain't good. But yeah. I mean, even mentioning guys in the later rounds. I know we drafted Thomas Fidel the third.
It's the second.
The second.
Yeah.
Who else did we draft? We drafted
Corey Black,
Corey Black.
the
Yeah, corner.
corner from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
We gave Fidel the second a C minus and Corey Black a C plus. Obviously, corner room pretty stacked, pretty young. I
Right.
think Deontay Banks will shine even more just because we have Paulson and Debo now. Debo was top seven this year, and I forgot what stat it was, but it was like only corners, and he was first the year before,
Mhm.
and obviously he was injured this year. I think he missed 3 games, 5 games, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been first. He's a great addition in this defense.
Yeah.
Fidel is just a backup piece, and then obviously we added Siobhan Holland too, so
Yeah. Our defense this year is
can make some
100%
noise
elite.
for sure.
Like, it's
Can
just
make some
elite.
noise. We should be like a
Just going
top
from
10
our
defense.
right. Just even everyone puts the limelight on our defensive front. But our secondary, man, Javon
Honestly,
Holland,
yeah. Tyler
just
Newbin.
Tyler Newbin, just guys that we know can provide when we need them to, and that will get the job done. On that secondary front. But
Yeah, I really enjoy
yeah,
this free agency splash we had this year. We spent a lot of money, but
we did. We
obviously
spent a
it went
ton.
really it went great though, but
Yeah,
we just need Devon Holland to shine. We need the secondary. We need this defense. We need something out of our offense because our offense has always held us back, realistically.
yeah. So I mean, I guess for all Giants fans out there, it's been a long road, but all rebuilds take time to where we want to
Exactly.
get to. So the word out there is to stay patient. Our time is going to come when it comes. We waited all these years after the Eli era, really after the OBJ era, I'd say. Um,
Honestly, yeah, I
but
love.
it just things didn't pan out as well as we wanted it to. We obviously had a franchise guy in Saquon, but look what happened with that. But now we
I won the
have
Super.
now we have our new franchise guy. Well, we kind of have multiple franchise guys if you think about it.
We
With
really
Dwell.
do. Our team is really young, so
Yeah, our team is
obviously
very very young.
we can make noise for
Yeah,
a lot of years to come. But I
obviously
think
in a competitive division. We got George
very
Pickens now
competitive
added to the
division.
MCs.
Yes.
That's interesting. But
Also, very mad at Gridiron, BR Gridiron, for leaving us out of that post. So it was
that
not.
was I'm pretty sure it was Jermaine Illuminor that
He was
reposted that.
very mad. Yes, he
Yeah,
was like, "Where was the Giants?" And then so many people made Giants. It
yeah,
was Ross, Malik, and Tyrone Tracy on the cover. But
yeah. They'll trust me. Giants are gonna make some noise. They for
honestly,
sure
that
will.
that's more like a chip on our shoulder, and not including us. Like, I think obviously we have the hardest schedule, but I think if we like lose games, but lose them in an like a fashion that we
Right.
like go
But they
out
put up a fight.
with a fight, I think like we can be seen as a whole different team.
Exactly.
And even if we win games, that obviously that'll be so much better for us.
Yep.
Like maybe not
No.
draft wise, but like it's just the start of like a new era for us.
Yeah, man, 100%. But this is a new era for Giants fans, and we're
Can't
front and
wait.
center. We're front and center. But
Definitely.
I think that is gonna wrap things up for the first episode of the Top
The triple
914
option.
Triple Option Podcast, baby. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank
I
you.
know we haven't really uploaded our usual content of shorts and reels in a couple weeks. AP testing, so yeah, that's that. But like I said, stay tuned for more uploads. We're gonna try to pan maybe for weekly uploads as the guys' schedules clears up. So
And get some other people in too.
yep, for sure. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Thank you guys.
Make sure you guys stay on the lookout for our content drops over on the Insta and YouTube. That's at the Triple Option Podcast, Top 914.
And go follow all of our personal accounts, which are all in the Instagram bio.
Stay tuned.